Yo, it's early. I'm not ready to go. I'm covered in cat hair. I might stay that way. My air conditioner is on. The background isn't set up. All the things aren't working properly. Yippee-ki-yay. I just wanted to turn on the recording thing because I was on an interesting train of thought and I thought I wanted to capture it. I was on a train of thought about Koumei, about Kongming, because I spend my morning thinking about the show that I'm going to watch, and then I watch the show that I'm going to watch, and hopefully that ends up being useful. But, I have to gear myself up to do the thing, and then I do the thing. And the thing today is Koumei, and I've been thinking about Kongming, and I think it's actually affecting me a little bit. It's getting to me. And what I mean is, I think I'm being convinced of the need for slightly goofy self expression or something like that. I don't know. I'm not actually a very self expressive person. That's a weird thing to say, given that I express myself on YouTube's for the monies, right? And also just for as a passionate thing that I need to do, otherwise I'll shrivel up and die. Um, so I am a person of tensions and contradictions, as are we all. I'm not a very self-expressive person, except in the ways that I am. But to most people in my daily life who know me, I'm very reserved. Like, exceptionally reserved. And they're always very surprised when any part of my me comes out, because there's, like, a lot going on in here, and not a lot of it shows, and I try to keep it that way. And partly I actively keep it that way, and partly I unconsciously keep it that way. And I think many layers of that are probably not good, actually. They're learned behaviors that are probably the result of emotional damage, as we might say. Uh, like, if only I'm quiet and not seen, I won't get talked to, because whenever I get talked to, it goes badly. That kind of a thing. And as long as I don't express myself and fly under the radar, nobody's gonna attack me or try to fight me or fuck with me or anything like that. And honestly, as a coping strategy, it works pretty well. Would recommend. In many circumstances, would seriously recommend. It's probably the reason, at least in part, there are other things, but at least in part, that I'm find myself relatively easily capable of slipping into varied social circles, especially with people who have a lot of power. Um, because they almost never see me as a threat. I don't express or exude threatening energy at all, and so people are, like, interested in me more as a novelty than they are concerned about my presence. And they should be more concerned about my presence because I am seeing everything. But people underestimate what's not loud and flashy, and that's quite useful. But it's also quite damaging. You know, I've lived my whole life without any posters on my walls, or even things put up for display. The making of paper pals starting a few years ago. That's a lawnmower. I have to close that. Starting making paper pals a few years ago was one of the first things that, like, put on display of my own creative energy. And it's kind of cool. But, okay, so there are other layers to it. Never posters. Never, like, things on display. Never really the idea of having people come into my space. Weird idea to me. Um, Emotional damage. Right. Uh, Clothing. Always restrained and reserved. Always solid colors. And I'm gonna stick with solid colors for the most part. Maybe patterns and things, but mostly solid colors and stuff. I fucking hate people wearing branded stuff. I think it's I think it's so funny. I think it's so ridiculous. You're gonna, like, actually turn yourself into a walking advertisement. Some people are fine with it. I despise it. I despise it. I'm currently trying to buy protective gear for electric unicycling, and it's hard to find stuff that isn't just plastered with logos everywhere. And I understand, I guess there's an appeal to that, but it's not for me. I like the solid colors and straightforwardness. I don't know. Emotional damage? I don't know. All of this is sort of uh orbiting the real idea that I'm trying to circle into, which is that Koumei as a character demonstrates a particular type of not give a fuckness. in his case, in many senses, he's actually out of time and place, right? He's actually not from here and doesn't really understand the norms. Even when he understands the norms, he doesn't understand the norms. He just knows that he can walk around doing the things that he's doing and they'll go great. But, like, he doesn't really understand fashion or any of those things until the story maybe wants him to. And yet, despite standing out and being totally and utterly different from everyone around him, that actually ends up being a very useful weapon in his arsenal. And he does stand out from everyone around him, and they treat him differently because of it, and it allows him to control very carefully how they treat him. And that's really interesting, because I've read that concept in a couple of different contexts, that idea of self-representation in order to control other people's inferences about you. But it's never really clicked for me. And again, this is just something that I've never engaged in socially. I never engaged in the sort of fashion hierarchicalism or fashion competitive sort of thing, or self-expression sort of competitive thing. I always shied away from that. My competitive pursuits were always directly intellectual and like, how do I string words together to make you look like an idiot? Or really just dissolve your points, because they're not good. They're not good. So I think, like, where a concept that I do understand is if kids aren't socialized effectively by a particular age, they kind of never do because they fall out of that and fall behind, right? But that sort of behavior, that sort of loop or cycle can be related to a whole bunch of things. And I think one of them is self-expression or fashion or wearing things or how one represents themselves in order to alter the perceptions of others. I never really think about it. I think I just never got to that stage. I think I always remained at the stage of, how do I put the things that everybody expects me to have on my body so that they at least don't think that I'm an idiot. And that's about as far as I get. And I don't really care beyond that, because I'm not trying to alter their perceptions or like generate an interesting perception of myself. But maybe at the core, there's a seed or a root of that that's like, I, as a person, don't deserve to represent myself the way that I actually am. Or I don't deserve to take up the space that I actually want to take up. Or I'm not worthy of being loud, for example. And that hits a root that's in me, and like it thrums. It's like, ooh, there's something there that's worth investigating. That's the resonance point. It's like the bare minimum is all I'm worth. And I think that's insidious and pernicious and broken in me. Ah, good thing to recognize, right? Oh, well, that might cause some self-destructive behavior. Oh, oh, hmm. That might prevent you from actually asking for what you need or doing whatever you need to in order to get your needs met. That might be the root of a whole bunch of different things. So, sorry to use you as my therapy desk, but this is my journal and you're listening to it. I appreciate your patience. Koumei, as a part of my life experience, I think is helping to reveal that within me. Because what this little story does is show repeatedly in multiple circumstances someone who's acting really silly, honestly, and silly in a very cool way, but pretty silly, and then doing so in what I and many other people might consider difficult circumstances. Hardcore negotiations, conversations with beautiful people, nightlife conversations with powerful people and like creative individuals who everybody else is fawning over, right? And Koumei walks in wearing a dress and with a big fan and a Pope hat and and goes, "Hello, I am here now. And everybody's like, who the fuck are you? And what is your deal, bro? And they don't treat him like shit because he can back it up with being interesting. That's interesting. And hmm, it's appealing to me. That's what it is. It's appealing to me. I felt like that. I went to a party, concert not that long ago. Sort of punk concert. I don't know if I talked about it during Koumei already. I might have. Um, Sort of punk rock concert thing. And I felt like that, but I was dressed normally, right? Jeans, black jeans, solid color, long sleeve shirt, very much like this one. And that's it. And honestly, that is standing out immensely in that crowd. So maybe I'm already doing it and I don't realize it. I guess maybe I should recognize that if everyone else is wearing logo plastered, loud, shiny things, wearing solid color shirts and pants is like weird. So maybe I've got that figured out already and I just didn't realize it. Sort of like Kongming out of time and space. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe I'm convincing myself that I've got it already. Haha. So then it's just the attitude that needs to switch and having that confidence to back it up. But I felt like I did in that moment or in that night. And I did slide into and out of multiple social circles with interesting and like people that other people at the venue might have had difficulty talking to because they viewed them as like up on a stage or on a pedestal or something. Huh. Maybe being a little bit fucked in the brain helps me disregard social hierarchies in a useful way. I just have to watch out because if I disregard hierarchies in a non useful way around someone bad and they exist, I might have a real problem. So I have to be very careful. See, I am having to go through all this shit consciously. I think because I never, ever in any way went through it when I was younger. Always disconnected. Damn goodbye, Airy. Fucking Fujimoto also rewrote my brain. Mm. We're entering a new era, folks. That's all I can say. I don't know what it's going to consist of. You know what I do know it's going to consist of? Me being able to breathe properly. I put my rib back into place. Finally, mostly. Feels really good to be able to breathe more properly. I still got a way to go, but it's way fucking better. New era. Kongming era. But not really. More like the Fujimoto era. Yeah. Yeah, that is what it feels like. That's maybe I'm gonna become punk rock as I hit 30 or head toward 30. Become a little bit punk rock. Yeah, fuck it. Reasonable. Seems like a thing to do. I guess a part of it is looking at and trying to decide on before I purchase motorcycle protective gear because I'm going to be riding an electric unicycle. I'm already been riding it quite slowly. It's so hard. It's so difficult. And I'm going to be riding it up at like 20 miles an hour, 2025. And then I'm probably going to, after a year or so, buy a much more powerful, much cooler electric unicycle and start riding that much faster. Because this is what literally happens to everybody. I actually don't think that that's something that I would want as a person, but I do think that everyone that I've ever seen do this has gone that route, and so I cede to the power of fate. Regardless, I don't want to spend twice on protective gear. I'm already having to do that. So I got rollerblades a while ago, and I've been using the shit out of them. I've been rollerblading around the streets, and it's great. I got this helmet for rollerblading. This is a skateboard helmet, and it's great for the purpose, right? Full visibility, solid helmet. It's got MIPS protection to make sure your brain doesn't slosh around if you take a hard fall. It's got the back is there because the most common like fall off of rollerblades is slip backward straight onto your head as opposed to falling forward. You catch yourself on your wrist guards or your elbows or your knees or whatever. If you wind badly and you slip backward, clonk in the back of the head, whiplash, and your brains get slabbed. Just bad. It's just bad. Maybe I'll find a little clip. It's the most convincing clip that I've ever seen of why you should wear a helmet. You should wear a helmet. It's so fucking obvious. Let me go and find it now so that I don't have to do it later. I think it's this one. Boom. And there it is. Okay. Thank God they slow-mo it. Clonk. Right. He just gets up. He's fine. Right? I mean, you're gonna need a new helmet. That's convincing to me. You hit something, you go back ass over. I mean, anybody who's ever been tabletopped by cruel children and fallen backward, you want something to protect your skull. Oh, I'll just add this one into the helmet section. This is a good add-in for the helmet section. Damn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Flip, whip, clong. Sunglasses shatter, go flying. Damn. Love helmets. So then if you're gonna wear a helmet, it's gotta be a cool helmet, right? But then you run into this... Anyway, I was rollerblading, so I got a nice helmet. It's a great helmet for the purpose. I'm glad to have it, and I'm gonna keep using it for the purpose. It's not rated for crashes over, like, 10 miles an hour. Need a better helmet. So that's true of that. That's true of my knee pads. That's true of my elbow pads. That's true of all my gear. And I need more gear. So I need better gear. So I'm investigating the best gear. And the best gear is for motorcyclists. Because they go really fast and they try not to die. And they don't do great at the not dying part, but there are a lot of companies investing a lot of money and time and energy into making people not die when they fall off of motorcycles and motocross bikes too. There's a mix. Sometimes the motorcycle stuff is the better stuff. Sometimes the motocross stuff is the better stuff. Often there's a mix, a crossover, but not always. There's some really cool downhill mountain biking stuff as well, because those people don't want to die either. Like a lot of cool helmet developments have come from there and then gone into the other worlds. But anyway, so I gotta buy a motorcycle helmet, and I gotta buy like an armor jacket or a chest protector and shoulder protector and elbow protector combo thing. I could do it all individual pieces, but I'd rather put one thing on and then take one thing off because it's easier. I've got pretty good knee pads, I think, but some knee, shin, brace situation things would be better. And I do have to more frequently wear uh, my dumb butt pads. They're look, they're dumb. They're dumb butt pads. They've got hip protection, and they've got this fucking protector for your tailbone. Because if you fall directly on your tailbone and you break that, it's a really bad time. Like a really bad time. So, those, the knee pads, the elbow things, my wrist guards are okay. I'm actually happy with them. I'd rather crash in these. I'd rather crash in these guys than in most of the motorcycle rated wrist guard style guards because they are solid and full wraparound. I'll lose my fingertips, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm willing to take it. I've taken enough falls on these already. You can see they're scuffed up to be pretty confident that the actual plastic will take the hit in almost every circumstance. And they've got a back spine wrist protector as well, which keeps you from, if you hit, snapping your wrist backwards, which is half of what happens. Most falls that people take off of motorcycles or other vehicles, they do end up hitting their hands. It's the most common injury is breaking your hands, or having a bike fall on you. Motorcycles just falling on your legs and feet. Uh, yeah. But the common injuries are shattering your wrist upward and shattering your wrist downward. And this protects against both of those, and I'm happy with it. Happy with it. But as I'm looking at gear, I'm thinking about style. For like the first time ever, I don't really think about style. But if I'm gonna have a set of gear, I kind of want it all to match, right? And the easiest way to get it all to match is for it all to be flat, matte black, and unassuming completely, which is what I've already done with all my dang skate gear. It's all black. So I was like, well, fuck that. Fuck that. What if I wear something cool? And I've never ever thought that about anything ever. I've never thought that. And immediately that made me think of Koumei. And I'm not gonna wear Kongming outfit while I go riding my electric vehicles around. But the idea of wearing something cool and weird is cool to me. And I don't mean a squid fucking dreadlock predator helmet or kitty ear helmet. I just mean like, hey, maybe high vis yellow would be cool, or maybe all white would be cool, or maybe like gold accents or something would be cool, or maybe green if they made a green that wasn't awful Kawasaki shit color green. I don't like that green. Or super high vis lime green. I'd rather have high vis yellow. Or like maybe golden yellow would be cool. That's a color that I actually really like. I don't know. I don't know. But I had never thought of that. Or like, I'd never thought, how will other people see me depending on what I wear? And there's a whole massive, stupid industry built around fashion styling for motorcycle stuff, particularly. And I'm getting sucked into that. And it's altering my brain. And it's not necessarily healthy. But there's this whole industry of like, this is cool looking. This is rad. This is neat. You look at like all the Icon helmets, and that's an industry of making things that look cool, whether they actually protect your skull or not. Like whether they're actually better for that or not. The fact that it's got predator jaws on it, or like weed smoke coming out of the eye holes as the design, which is, those are actual helmets that they have, is what sells those helmets. And what makes them valuable and interesting is the self-expression through purchase. And that's really interesting to me. It's not something that I engage with commonly. Yeah, that's part of what it is. So it feels in some sense like gamer gear. It's actually the same as gamer gear in a lot of ways. It's like you're going to buy a computer. Okay. You have two primary choices for your processor. And then each of those has a range at different price points and performance points. But your primary choice is AMD or NVIDIA, or AMD or Intel, and it's not a choice anymore. It's AMD. They've won that war in a lot of ways. And then you've got infinite but irrelevant choices for your RAM. They just don't, it doesn't matter that much. Like, it does the job mostly as long as you've got the right speeds and ratings. There's, some companies they make better silicon than others. My roommate from college currently works at SanDisk, I think, checking silicon discs, silicon discs, silicon discs, silicone dicks. Don't get them mixed up. Checking them for imperfections, etc. So different companies have different qualities of RAM, but not much. You don't really have much choice in that regard. And then you've got a range of price points at different on two competitive companies for a graphics processor, and those are the things that you choose for your computer. Everything else is basically peripheral, and screens, monitors, right? Like whatever. But everything else is basically peripheral. Everything else is style. It's how cool is your case? How cool does it look, really? Not how cool is it? Not how cool does it get, really? How cool does it look? And the truth is, you could have probably a much more simple PC building system if they all sort of looked the same and nobody cared. But people really care. And people really care in large part because the companies figured out a number of years ago that if they put shiny things on them, they could create product differentiation. And it's like, these 80 graphics cards are the same graphics card, fundamentally. And we can price them between $300 and $800 because they have different color schemes, essentially. And people will buy them at all those price points and feel satisfied that they've gotten the right deal and the right price point and the right thing for their money. And they'll feel proud of it, and they'll take pictures of it and share it on Instagram and be happy that it's sitting there on their desk as part of their workstation. They figured it out. If we put neon lights in our water cooler, our self-contained water cooler system, it makes ours different from the next company's, and we can sell it for $20 more. And the lights cost us 30 cents. So that's pretty worthwhile. Gamer gear. The same is for motorcycles, right? How much does it actually cost to make a colorway of a helmet? You design one helmet, okay, and then you paint it different colors. How much of the total cost of the helmet was the paint? None. None. How much do you mark it up based on the difference of the color? A lot. But more than the markup, how many more people buy helmets? A lot. They buy them from you because you've got all these cool colors and nobody else does. So this whole market industry around fashionability and self-expression and how you put yourself out there and all these things. And so that's what I'm getting involved in a little bit. And mostly I'm just trying to find gear that's going to save my life. But at the same time, I'm like, man, if it looked cool, that'd be pretty cool. And so that's, in a lot of ways, what a lot of us are trying to do with fashion. In the same way that I'm trying to meet the bare minimum and be like, put on the clothes that people expect me to wear so they don't think that I'm an idiot, right? Or throw me in jail, right? Important things. But then if I'm going to wear the thing anyway, shouldn't I wear the thing that I like? The answer is yes. Yeah, you should. You should wear the thing that you like. And you should actively look for ways to express yourself that are you. But then we run into a sticky sort of conundrum. What's you? Most people don't know. I'm not sure I know. I'm not saying this, I hope not condescendingly. I hope it doesn't come off that way. I don't think most people know. And I think that's obvious because most people walk around wearing brands on their fucking chests. What are you? You're Nike? No, you're Just Do It, right? Right. So then we get this stickier situation where the brands identify themselves with an attitude or a perspective or a format or a being, right? And Adidas has one attitude. Not really. Some brands are very standoffish. They're just the logo. That's it. And some brands are very in your face, right? Like, Just Do It is one good example of that's pretty bland though, right? You go from more like sports gear, crazy stuff. It'll be like, ride crazy, fuck the haters, like that kind of shit, right? So there's this attitude branding. What does it mean to wear this piece of thing? What, as a touch point, will people think of you if you put this on your body? And there's incentive to produce a mystique of an aesthetic, and it sucks a lot of people in. And most of us, I think, end up going with some flow of crowd or another. Even and especially when you're trying not to go against the crowd. Because marketers figured out a long time ago that I want to be different from everybody else is the easiest way to sell you the same shit as everybody else. It's the easiest fucking way. It's the easiest way to sell you the same shit as everybody else. The only thing that I have to do to prove it is to look at the people who actively reject the mainstream culture all end up looking the same. In like a handful of differentiated ways, but they all end up looking the same. It's like the blue-haired cyberpunk Asian anime girl. or actress girl, like blue streak hair sort of thing. That's an aesthetic sensibility that people gravitate toward. Or like the black leather, chains, punk rock, eyeliner is all an aesthetic that people gravitate toward. And they're rejecting a mainstream and falling into another. In part because they're like, I want to be different from everybody else. What does different mean? That's pretty different. Thanks, company that sold me the different thing. I appreciate you, Hot Topic. You're really, whoa, you're like a multinational corporation, man. What the fuck? I got duped. Oh, shit. I got duped. What kind of person goes and buys a shirt that says number one dad on it for themselves? Sincerely. Why is this cat meowing? That was odd. Cat made a very strange noise. Not sure why. Branding and self expression. How do you walk that line then? How do you, in a consumerist world, consume adeptly, express effectively, and not get sucked into some stupid trap of thinking like you're doing something interesting when you're just doing the same thing? I think my own answer is not a bad one, but there are exceptions to it, is what I'm learning. I think my continuous answer of not branded stuff, not flashy, although bright orange. Oh, and a giant bruise. Fuck. Ah. Yeah. But that's a new thing. I bought these shorts not that long ago, and partly I bought them to be high vis, and partly I bought them because I thought they'd be cool. That's a relatively new thing. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I think there is a wide range of individual desire to express self. Desire to. But when that range meets unwillingness to, or fear of, or inability to, or ignorance of how to effectively, then the range gets way collapsed. And regardless of everyone's varied desire to express themselves, a lot of people don't express themselves very much, except in ways that feel really safe. That is, it feels really safe to be punk rock. People understand you. They actually get it. You've broadcast the proper signal. So does it just come down to comfort? No, because if you only ever wear, buy, use, keep, convey the things that are most expedient, then people will always disrespect you because they can feel that. So you have to be willing to do truly as you please. Fuck. That's hard to grapple with. That's hard for me to grapple with. The idea of going through a discount store like Donkey and seeing something dumb like a pair of dumb sunglasses and actually putting them on is so divorced from my personality that I could not imagine it. I've got a friend who wears heart-shaped aviators like all the time and is just chilling, and people compliment them. Nobody treats him badly for it or whatever, but the idea of doing something like that is kind of mortifying to me. It's not something that I think I would do. And yet, I can imagine a circumstance where I would walk through a Donkey or something and see one of those and imagine doing it and go, that would be fun. Not gonna do it. Emotional damage discovered. That's a conflict. That's a conflict there. I think I actually would like to do something stupid like that. Maybe contextually, right? Maybe that's part of the point of expressive festivities like Mardi Gras, etc., where people go apeshit wild once per period of whatnot, or Burning Man, where you get reined in. Burning Man jokes aside, like the purpose of it for a lot of people is to go be away from all the other people and be weird. Of course, you look at all the people at Burning Man, they all look the fucking same. Yo, you know what would be fucking radical, man? What if I wore steampunk gear in the desert and took a bunch of mushrooms? Radical. Just like everybody else. Sick. No, I kid to some extent. There's a lot of ingenuity and interest and fun stuff there. And it's fun, and tanoshi wa tanoshi da yo. And I gotta be careful not to knock things that are fun just because they're fucking fun. And that's good, and that's part of the Koumei experience too, right? Going and buying super dumb light up discount glasses and wearing those with like Renaissance era robes is pretty fucking funny. It's pretty funny. It's fun. Shit. Am I allowed to have fun? Am I actually allowed to do that? I didn't think I was allowed to have fun. I thought, no, hold on, wait. I thought everybody was judging me all the time and like worried about what I thought of. Oh wait, no, they're all worried about what I think of them. Shit, I'm allowed to have fun, and everybody else can be jealous. Shit. Fuck. Oh no. Right. Right. I forgot. I'm allowed to have fun. Oh god, that's so annoying. I hate being an insufficient idiot. Continuously ignorant of myself and the world around me. God. Oh, I wish I were so much better than I am. And that's real talk. All right, we're gonna do Koumei relatively. I might do Koumei without all the pretense. That might be fun. Am I allowed to have fun? Yeah, but I also want to make good videos, you know? I actually don't think that this background is conducive to a good video. Honestly. Nor do I necessarily think that all this rambling bullshit is conducive to a good video. I'm gonna have a hell to do when I edit. I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh, where's my water? All right, I'm gonna cut the intro portion here. I got the point out, I think. So we'll just cut it there. Ebo, 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 Ebo. Yeah. My own voice. What does that mean? It's like a spiraling center with a cascading horizon line to here, a cascading truth going like that, and a deep seated powerful core root system. Boom. Well, that's a weird piece. I don't normally draw on camera, but that is what I've just drawn, and I knew the title of it when I was down here drawing a weird squiggly line. It's called My Own Voice. Yeah, my own voice. What does that mean? Because that's what I think our character needs to find. I think Eiko is seeking her own voice right now. She's sort of finding the ability to sing in singing with somebody else in Nanami. I just went and looked to make sure that I had the name in my brain, and I failed still. Nanami. She's learning to sing with her and gaining that confidence and ability to do so, but Steve Aoki, who's definitely not Steve Aoki throwing pies into the audience at a festival, told her she needs to find her own voice, and I just spent a while talking about self-expression and finding a particular way of being that is uniquely yours, and some of the particular difficulties of doing that. And that is what I came up with. That's weird. I don't know. It started down here with the spiral thing. It was like, there's a strong core. And then it was these lines going out. It's like, expression outward. And everything else came from there. I don't fucking know. Art's weird, man. Yes, there is a pile down there. Okay, there are only like 2, but there's usually a pile. I cleaned them up recently. Yeah, it still shows up okay. I do wish I had a better way of putting it up there, and one that didn't obscure my all-black idea for the way that the background should look. We stumble along. Paripi Koumei! It's Koumei Day, everybody. I don't know how much me you've already experienced today. I've experienced plenty of me, so I'm ready to experience somebody else's experience of reality for a little while. By which I mean, I just want to go ahead and watch the show. Conflict has entered the building in the form of Azalea's lead singer, I think, Nanami, being really cool and very nice and not at all what her outward performative, like, expression thing is. Which is another interesting layer. Like, what if you get forced to pretend like you're somebody you're not? Ooh, that's a layer of me that I haven't added in. A layer of insight that I haven't added in at all. That's tough, too. All the struggle that we've talked about already today about trying to get what's inside you onto the outside, that's one thing, but what if you're actually actively, for various reasons, required to act like you're somebody else? Like, you can be yourself, but only on the side, bud. Which is what Nanami is doing. She wants to perform, I think. But her mode of performance is restricted by being a part of an idol group and all the things that you're forced to do. And a particular type of idol group, right? Where we've expressed that they don't care what they do as long as they get the views. And that might have to do with the nature of like the outfits and the designs and all the stuff. We haven't delved deep into like how exploitative it is yet, or how dark it is yet at all. And maybe we don't have to. We can kind of shorthand it, and it doesn't really matter because we're all kind of aware of the phenomenon of like, oh, that's a person in the industry, and they're being forced to act like that, not the person that they actually are. They got this gorgeous creative spirit there, and it's getting crushed, man. It's getting just like smashed up and mangled and twisted into a weird twisted thing. We know what that feels like. Well, we know what it looks like from the outside on the tabloid magazines, because we see it all the time. It's like part of the industry. So maybe we'll just shorthand it, and we don't really need to worry about it, because our story is about the positive side, the good stuff that you can do if you get people together and they've got your best interests at heart and are all working together for that purpose, which is what Koumei is. What happens when those two worlds collide? What will that be like? I think I just referenced a song, but I'm not sure. Something worlds collide? Anyway, we're going to watch Koumei. I need to make sure that I've got the right episode. We've not completed the arc as far as I can tell. This arc might carry us until the very end of the show, and that would be fine. But I'm kind of expecting to just watch one episode today and have at least a couple of nice things to talk about and enjoyable experiences with enjoyable characters, and Koumei being Koumei and coming up with a cool stratagem, and the manager being like, wow, Honto no Koumei, da, like, oh, he's the real deal. And other fun, impressive things. And maybe we get to go and, actually, that's what we can do. We can shelve the Azalea thing, put it as a B plot, and focus our A plot on Eiko going back to Steve Aoki and finding out what her voice is and all that shit, and starting recording. And then as she starts recording, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, something. Nailed it. I nailed it. I'm such a good predictor of things. Hey, guess what? After the thing happens, something else is gonna happen. Crazy. Okay, seriously though. Once that's all going well, we rip the emotional rug out from under Eiko by being like, yeah, but the person that you relied on to figure out this shit was actually your enemy. But not really, because we're in a friendly story where that person's actually probably reasonable. And maybe it's the manager who will be the enemy. Or maybe there aren't enemies in this show. Gotta remember that, right? There are. We had, like, Mia at the beginning. Enemies in this show don't do well. They don't do well, so I don't look forward to their prospects. I'm excited for a good episode of Koumei. I want to see if I notice any difference in the singing, and if I can tell if I'm just projecting. If I'm just, like, expecting it to get better, and the music production and like, the way that the performance feels to all come together in some sense. It's really tough to ride that line. It's really tough to even necessarily perceive it unless it's way too obvious over the course of, like, watching a thing every week or so. But maybe at the end of the show, a thing to do would be to, like, watch the whatever performances are being done in episodes 10, 11, 12, and then watch some of the performances from episode 1, episode 2, and just, like, even the best moments of, like, the little bounce Eiko into bada boom, and then Koumei shits himself because it's so much fun. Maybe even those will feel like they were a learning experience or a stepping stone or just the beginnings of the thing. I don't know. I'm blathering. I'm blathering. I said I wanted to get right into the Koumei, and apparently I don't. Apparently I just want to talk about the thing today. So shut up, Teeaboo. You talk too much. Let's watch episode 9. I've got it up. It's ready to go. Beep beep timer. I'm just gonna not say anything about the Patreon that you can go to and get early access to the next episode. Let's just watch this one. Okay. Okay. This guy was a good fighter. Don't kill him. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. A certain close friendship indeed. Yeah, except that that's juicy because they sure did. Oh, we can laugh forever and ever. Everything will be so great. Ute, ute. Oh. Ha 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 ha. I mean, they didn't have all the lights go red. They could have. Which one is your favorite Koumei? I'm partial to guitar glasses, white leather jacket Koumei. That's a pretty cool Koumei. That scene always just reminds me of one of the opening intro scenes of Redline, um, where we see all of JP's, like, fantastic ideation of what racing means. The shiny car and the two beautiful women and the legs fold over and everything and shines by. Ah. I miss. I think I might go on an 80s music video trip again. 80s, 90s music videos. Oh, yamada. Oh, Coco Jumbo, I'm coming. Or any of the, like, Boney M songs. Oh, we're starting right here. I'm wrong. It's not B-plotted. Unless this is just a stinger. Ooh, the grimace. Oh no, you've been caught! You're not allowed to be yourself! Who's that voice actor? I'm going to destroy her. This is like a joke line from the manga I just read. Wow! And the threat carries actual weight, too. Ah! Hey, you're not allowed to be anybody like yourself. Oh, she's found a voice. I'm num 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 pudding. What the fuck? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where your purpose at, yo? Why did that ding dong? I don't get it. Aw, shit. Well, she still stayed and waited for her. What? Aww. Aww. So she's gonna vicariously through and, like, push the... Aww. Just gonna pretend that it... Sky Square. Yo, there's a crazy concert there. No? Oh, hi. Yay! The simultaneous down to cross-legged was weird. These guys are great. The voice actors, these guys are great. Okay, so he's a voice actor who's rapping. They're all rappers who are voice acting. I didn't catch it. Oh, here we go. That's... It's on. Lame voice, might as well. Who cares? Yeah, literally, I don't even care. I'm... Fuck off! What do you... Come on, Koumei. This location is in the... This location is in the OP. Yeah, how much I don't wish... I'm sorry. Uh... This is actually quite funny. Oh shit, she's gonna straight up tell her. Full around with that on the thing. Ah. Then jump off the building like fucking whatchamacallit. I'm actually super awesome. And your enemy. Brutal. Why would you do this? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you know that this is dumb. You know that was dumb. Come on, dude. Why is she leaning in? I actually don't know why she's leaning in. She should hit this with, wow, that's so cool. That's my expectation. Oh. That's what you should not have said. Fuck. No! I let my soul go away. God damn it, that's just K-On! Stop it, 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 stop it! No, 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 no! Oh, it's too weird. Oh, it's the music too. Oh, it's so weird. It's not even Bochi, it's fully K-On bad. It's bad K-On. Oh my god. Awful. Awful. How about Zip Tie? Not that. Oh, that classic. Awful. Azalea. The flower. Huh? What does it even mean? It's English. It's a pretty flower. Ah! Literally means say. That's actually really funny too. So the band is literally named Seishun? Wow. Oh, and we're doing the moments, all the cool things. Yippee-ki-yay. Wow, that's actually the shot from K-On as well. Or Haruhi, take your pick. Or Angel Beats, take your pick. But that's K-On. Wow, and then they get manager nailed? What happens? This is such a fun twist. This is such bullshit. Turns around. Let's go beat again. Woo! Together. Oh god, this is so... When is it gonna, like, truck-kun me? When am I gonna get hit by a vehicle? I'm ready to get hit by a vehicle. That was... Also, all these scenes have been really cute. They're not, like, a bad depiction of these scenes. They're just intentionally cliche. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Hit the hard knock life. If only you'd had a strategist. Ah, we still hadn't sold our souls. Completely. Yet. But soon. We met the bad man with the cane. Okay, so we're in an abusive production relationship and you need to move, dog. It's pretty simple. Oh, you know, like... She's so Neketsu flaming. Yeah! Alright, how about sexy pop? How about sexy pop? We sell sexy pop. Oh, alright, we're gonna turn around and walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Awesome. Framing's great too. You're useless on your own. You need me. You need me. You will never, ever without me. It's just like, this is, come on, it's like classic abuser stuff. Hey, if anybody in your life talks to you like this, they're like, thank you, yeah. So where's his damage? That's the real deep question that's somewhere deeper in the manga. Where's your damage, bro? Can Koumei fix him? That's my real... That's really cute. Except for the... Goddamn CG fuckboys. It's okay. They framed it well enough that I didn't notice for a second. But you gotta actually change something. Right, you actually gotta change something. Cover. Yeah. We're gonna do it all in one scene, but this might as well be a year. Arubaito, giving it up. Yep. Yeah, trying to make ends work. And finally, eventually we'll be pushed to the end. Ooh, that's a nice empty apartment that looks really appealing, but you're paying 3 times your fucking income for it. Ooh, nice apartment. So she makes the call. Ah, I thought you would be back. Blech. Blech. I thought so. Yeah, what's your damage? Yeah, man, you gave up. You fucking gave up. No, it isn't. Whoa. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm gonna get a piece of paper. Compensation line. That's our core right there. Yeah. Grin it. Nope. %. This is... We've done all the market research. We'll make you perfect. Shit. Maji. No identity, no connection. I love the faceless, nameless people all around him, right? In the suits. You're just one of them now, in some sense. Ah, there's the fucking rub! That's incorrect. It does. That's incorrect. It does. Wow, it's working, but who cares? Actually, who cares? This isn't actually what you want. Wow. They want to see you dance. Shake your ass. What we wear won't change who we are is the rub, isn't it? And there we are. We start doing exactly what we've never done. Our fan base exploded because of course it did. Of course you did. Woohoo. The secret identity, Clark Kent. I don't know what just happened. I had to edit it together. The camera stopped working for some reason. Yes! Yeah! Yeah, you seeded yourself, dude! You could make it even if I never... Oh, good! She wants to make it out! Yeah, let's go! Let's get the fuck out! Right, it's a big thing now, yippee-ki-yay, but that doesn't fucking matter. Bounce. Post on Twitter, yo. Betray them all. Betray them all! No. Reasonable. You're really stuck. You're really, truly stuck. I know that I'm competing with Azalea. Oh. Now we are actively, knowledgeably competing. Who's gonna get up? Is anybody gonna get up? Oh, it doesn't. Say it out loud! It's hard to notice, man. And she's been keeping doing it. Uh-oh, she's gonna do something before you can. Oh, sick! But also, in general, I'm going to sing. Purpose for it, huh? Ah. They're all trying to freaking figure themselves out and express what little they can. Yep. Yes, it can. Yeah, maybe. And even if you can't, you can still ripple out to get other people to share their own real voices. It's weird how singing and speaking produces singing and speaking. I said earlier that I wasn't going to be sure if I could hear it, but I can hear it. Yeah, that's pretty freaking good. Sing. Aww. Oh, it's just Simfolk here. Ah, you deserve your point of pride. Damn. Finally figured it not at all out. Completely not at all. But no. No, but yeah, good. Oh my god. Awesome. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, way better. You love her too, so... I mean, you, Nanamin, love her too. It's the important part, I think. Oh, throw it off the building. Throw it off the fucking building. Do it. Do it. I'm so down. Come on, do it. Come on, do it. No! No! That's fine. It's good. Look, it's not gonna happen once in 1 second. It's fine. Good job. Yeah, we did it. We did it. No, we did it. You did it. You did it. Good job. This is gonna hurt a lot. Never mind, she's got it. Aww, that's cute. That's rare that scene works. The cheek wibbles, damn. I think you were winning, motherfucker. The tears are just gone, motherfucker. He's just a Looney Tunes character now. Ugh. Yeah. What? That's a great line. What do you mean a right one is the answer to it, though? We're going ED-less, yeah? Awesome. That's right. That's correct. Fuck off. Fuck off. God, you can't say that in a... It's like King DDD with a star on his head. What the fuck? Okay. Arc semi resting point. Excellent. Great episode. Wow. That was a great episode of anime. Solid episode of storytelling. Now, it's got the we can't forget, we just had 2 relatively not that strong episodes in order to build to this. They were good episodes. Like, not bad by any stretch of the imagination or anything like that. But a lot of the strength of this episode comes from having 2 episodes of emotional character development between the foundations building up between the characters, which I talked about. It's been happening, and it did the thing that I've been asking for it to do, which is, when will this come to the fruitions? Now. Right now. Cat hair. Right now, with a powerful emotional gut punch that's pretty solid. It does the rippy heart thing really good. It also hits some really strong beats. It also hits some really strong darkness in a couple of ways. We spin a nice web here because, of course, if Nanamin's situation is as simple as it seems on the outside, then it's not a compelling story. We need our characters to be making difficult decisions that are real and life-changing and actually affect them in lots of ways and affect all the people around them and are difficult, and there's no obvious right answer. Why do we need that in our stories? Because it's real life. Because you have to make that kind of decision all the time. Will I sacrifice potentially my whole life and try to become an artist, or sacrifice potentially my whole life and try to become somebody stable? That's a serious set of decisions, right? Well, I've got this whole family relying on me, and I've got my whole soul relying on me too, and how? Uh-oh. Serious decision. I've engaged in a thing that looked pretty good on the outside and was pretty good for a while, and then we made logical decisions that took us to a place where it's no longer good, but myself and all the people around me all are relying on all of each other to make this keep happening, and our lives will fall apart completely, I think, I'm pretty sure, because that's what had happened before. It's not necessarily true, but I'm pretty sure, because that's what happened before. Everything will fall apart if I change things. What do? I try to bring it up to them, and I realize they don't actually want to hear it, really. And it would be really, maybe heartbreaking to speak what I actually feel. But they're not going to do it unless I do it. So I'll decide for all of us and not say anything. And that's Nanami with the microwave scene. Ooh, this has some moments of, like, subtle complacency spiraling out into, like, dragons in this episode. In a really good and strong and useful and compelling way. And then it's got this core element of, like, everybody's trying to figure out where their expression comes from and whether it's, like, okay. And then there's this whole element of, like, do I deserve to be the person that I am? The hot-blooded punk rock person that I actually am, or not? And who tells me? Who gets to tell me that? And is it correct? So there's the real rub. There are a couple in the episode, and that's so amazing, because there are a couple of genuine turning point phrases or moments or conversations here. When they're up there on the stage, and they're playing, and there's nobody coming to their shows, and there continues to be nobody coming to their shows, they know what the problem is. Our marketing isn't working. And they choose to change themselves instead of changing the marketing or seeking a new audience. I think that's incorrect. I think that misunderstands the nature of reality at present. There's infinite audience out there. I'll put it that way. There's infinite audience out there. I'm a dumb idiot who talks about anime videos, and I make a living off of it. Dumb idiot anime videos. Can you play a guitar? You can find an audience. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So it's the wrong attitude. Like 100%, it's incorrect. There's infinite audience and infinite appetite for, well, that's what it is, actually. There's infinite appetite for for greed, lust, the seven deadlies, right? Which is what Azalea kind of is in a box. But there's also infinite appetite for honesty and genuineness. Because all of us really like it. Like a lot. Like a lot. And all of us actually secretly, or not so secretly, wish that we could take our souls and bear them to the world. The way that we see Eiko do in this episode. And it compels literally everyone around her, because of course it does. And so if you are actually capable of doing that, people will gather to you. I guarantee it. I'm doing it. You're in it. That's what this is. I guarantee it. Look. Hi. Why are you watching this video? No, actually, why are you watching this video? Well, you're watching this video for one of two primary reasons. One is you like Paripi Koumei. The other is you like me. What are the reasons that you might like Paripi Koumei? Well, it's a story that's heartfelt about performing and, like, taking your heart out and showing it to the world. Oh, so you're compelled by that story? Interesting. Why might you like me? Because I'm honest, and I convey that honestly, and I try to convey all my struggles and shit. At least I hope that's why you like me. I think it is. So, some genuineness, some, like, real struggle here, some sharing of that. Something about that is compelling to everybody. Like, a lot. Okay. So, you give all that up as soon as you put on somebody else's outfit. Right? You give it all up. And the whole audience that was seeking that and is continuing to seek that doesn't get what they were seeking. They're seeking it. They might not know where to get it. It's actually hard to find. Kind of. It's in short supply. It might be the thing in this world right now in reality. Koumei era reality notwithstanding. I mean, the era when this show was aired months ago. Reality right now, as there's infinite fake things generatable all the time. Infinite plastic garbage generatable all the time. Infinite things that look just like a good thing, but aren't all the time, right? Generated constantly. Guitars that look like a great guitar, made of crap, falls apart in 5 minutes, right? Car looks like a normal car, falls apart 5 months, right? People that look like honest, real people, and that falls apart real fast when the lies and sponsorships and, good God, lots of sponsorships and steroid allegations if you're in the fitness industry, or sex abuse allegations if you're in literally any industry because everybody's doing it and then pretending to be like some kind of paragon of justice. Like, really, it's not usually even a problem to be an active pervert. Like, everybody's a pervert. It's fine. Chill. But if you do the pervert thing, and then you go, I am a paragon of justice, and I never, ever, then it's fucked. So, I think that I genuinely propose this as a really powerful idea that's really, really important for your future and mine. The thing that is in the shortest supply right now is trust. Real trust. Trust in a physical product. Trust in your own senses. Trust in the person down the street. Trust in the person you vote for or don't. Trust in the systems that you rely on to provide for you the things that you need. Trust in the businesses that you work for or own. Trust in the people that you employ or are employed by. Trust in the people you listen to in your podcasts and your radio shows and your news outlets of various kinds. Trust. It's in pretty short supply. It's actually really hard to get. If you could generate some, you could make money off of it. What I mean when I say trust, I mean like honesty, genuineness, expression of real self. And on that front, it's true too. So it's really important, obviously, in negotiations, finances, all these important things. But what about in music or creation or art? Like, you can feel the difference, right? I'm not the only one. Maybe people feel it at different degrees of consciousness. Like you feel it subconsciously, but you don't feel it all the way through. When you watched a movie that was made in the last 3 years, say, 5 years, whatever, did it feel like an expressive art piece that was like interesting and that came out of a human spirit and was like built to convey something of import? Or like a thing that was an exchange of value where you exchanged a large sum of money for a small period of time that was kind of fun? Because most of the films that I've seen mostly have been that other one. And they do the like trappings of having a story, but just barely. Like just barely. In order to do this sort of gross, faulty, thin exchange thing. It's got all these layers of pretty obvious, like, focus groupy ideas behind it, and everything's kind of washed clean, and everything's all sort of the same format of do the thing, action, moment, line, right? It's all the same flow, and then the story is always like there's some grand, it's like the same story over and over. Now, I understand, same story over and over, that's a normal thing, that's human stuff, but you can use that framework and write it really far with a very small amount of actual human expression or like interesting creation at the core of it. We'll sit down and we'll pay for and watch movies that have no heart to them over and over and over and over. Like we'll watch a bunch of them and we'll feel like we came out of it with something, but we know the difference, I think. And there are way less that have a soul to them. It's part of why I gravitate so frequently toward anime, because there's a lot of anime that has a soul to it. And I think that has to do with something that I discussed in yesterday's episode of the manga reading regarding the Japanese manga industry as a creative medium and flow place for creative thought to be like accumulated and generated. It's different. It's a different industry. But there feels like there's not a lot of that oomphiness, and when you come across it, it's like, wow. It lights a big smile up on your face, and you start throwing money at the person who's doing it. Anywhere. You go on a street, and somebody's, like, really playing guitar, and people are like, holy shit, wow! Amazing! You have to be in the right place for it. You have to find the audience. But the audience exists. So to swing it tangentially all around and back on home, I think that moment of, because of the weird abusive setup that he does, Kurosawa, which is perfect, that moment of we're on the stage and what we're doing isn't working, we're not generating an audience, therefore we have only one option. And we see them scramble and struggle in a whole bunch of ways, and I'm not discounting that. I'm sure that they didn't just do nothing and not change anything and hope that they would suddenly hit it big. Although I don't know that, actually. A lot of people do exactly that. And a lot of creative people are convinced that if they just build it, they will come, because that's what is true. But a lot of creative people also aren't that good at building creative things at first, and so they just build the same creative thing over and over and over and over and over and over, and they hope that they'll make it, and they never make it. You'll, if you ever go through like Venice Beach or places where there are lots of little stalls and things with people creating art, you'll walk past people who are creating just scraping by, making the same style of thing over and over and over and over. There's a dude who used to set up a husband and wife couple who used to set up out in front of the gym, and he would like solder things together out of junk with like electrical ports as like faces, and he could sell a piece for like $10, and it's like worth $3 in scrap metal. It's like it's barely worth anything, and it's he's just doing the same thing over and over, and they don't sell a lot as far as I can tell because they're kind of dumb and weird. But if they're a fun hobby for him and he's into it, that's awesome. If he's genuinely trying to make a living, he needs to iterate. You gotta develop on your thing, and you gotta find a different market or a different audience or change your thing. But changing the thing, I think, comes last. Because even if I think that his dumb electric junk things are dumb, somebody else doesn't. Somebody else finds them great. And there are probably a bunch of people who find them great and are like, these are so heartfelt and beautiful and amazing, and you're doing the art. And they'll pay like $40 for them. And he needs to find those people so that he can actually make a living, right? And the same goes here. They're doing these performances on these little stages throughout, and I've got all that Bochi stuff in the back of my mind. So we've got all the booking fees, and it can really pile up and destroy you, and it keeps destroying them. And in their destroyedness, they keep doing the same thing over again, and it keeps destroying them. And they're like, shit, I can't do anything differently. I just have to do it more. And that doesn't work. But humans are really bad at developing new coping mechanisms, and we're really good at doubling down on our old coping mechanisms. And like, just try harder is what we often do, even though it's obviously not the thing to do. Anyway, that whole setup that he does for like, you need me and you'll never make it without me, it seeds that failure in there. And then when they, of course, go out and actually experience the struggle, the big juicy struggle, the big you post 10 YouTube videos and you get no views. Like, anybody ever done this? Anybody ever tried to Twitch stream? It's a fun one. It sure is fun, right? I've interacted with a number of people who they find out what I do and they're like, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll try it. I'm always encouraging about it because, dude, awesome, great. You give it a shot. It's not that hard. But there's always this impression that's like, I gotta get everything just perfect for my first Twitch stream, and I'll turn on the camera and everything will be perfect. And it's gotta be perfect because like 20 people are gonna show up and actually like judge me, right? They're gonna judge me. They're gonna judge me. Oh no. Oh no, the worst thing that... All right. So you get all your shit together and you spend $200 on equipment and lights and backdrops and stuff, and you turn on the Twitch stream. And first it breaks immediately because you didn't know what you were doing. And then nobody shows up ever. Ever. You stream for a week and you get one viewer at one point. You're like, hi, viewer! And they disappear from the chat. Okay! What's the answer to that little conundrum? It really depends. It really depends. Sometimes the answer is just keep going, man. Sometimes the answer is you should have posted on Twitter that you were gonna stream. Probably a good idea. Sometimes you suck at this and nobody wants to watch you. Sometimes you need to change your content because nobody wants to watch the thing that you're doing. But I'm not sure. I think it differs in every situation. If you are a passionate, genuine band that really wants to try to make it work, you cannot go this route. You can't let somebody else clothe you up and put you on stage as a figurehead. Because you lose the thing that you actually wanted. We substitute here, Azalea substitutes here, success for success. They're both called success, but they're not the same thing. Not at all. Not even a little bit. There are two things in this world that are defined as success, and they are not the same thing. Everybody calls them the same word, and that's wrong. I just want to make this exceptionally clear. There's this thing that everybody talks about that's success. That's one thing. And there's this other thing that everybody talks about. Actually, I don't think anybody talks about it very much, and it's success. And it's a totally other thing. And the twain never meet. You can have both, but mostly you're going to sacrifice one for the other, is the way that most people see it. The way that I see it, at least. But you can have both. What is success? Success is making it. At bare minimum, being able to live in the place where you are living. That is to have shelter, access to basic Maslow's hierarchy needs. Like, that's success, honestly. Okay, so at any other point, that's success. Everything beyond that, you can use your imagination. More money, more fame, more of the things that Azalea gets, more success. Actually getting the numerical people in the door to the concert. But that isn't actually success. Why? Because those people aren't at your concert. They're not at Azalea's concert. They're not singing. They're not listening to Nanami sing. Even before it wasn't literally her singing and they were just doing the performative thing. Even before that, they weren't at her concert because it's not your soul on display. Success, the other one, success is acting toward the world and having the world respond in the way that you expect. That's actually the base fundamental definition. Okay? It's part of why failure is part of success, because it's actually an expectation. It's like, if I'm gonna try to fly. I certainly failed to fly, but the world has responded in an expected manner, and that's a success as far as I'm concerned. Or, say, if I act fun and playful to someone, and they act fun and playful back. Success. Mission accomplished. Or if I get up on a stage and I bare my soul to them, they respond with, wow, that was really cool. At least. That would be really good. As long as they don't respond with, gross. Because if they respond with that, that's not success. Then what happens? And I mean that in a self-fulfilling sort of way. When you act in accordance with your own beliefs and expectations for yourself, that's within the purview of the same definition, I think. So acting coherently and consistently and in the way that you want, and actually acting out the things that you want and desire, all these things are, to me, what success means. When you get up on the stage and it's not you on the stage, when it's a mask, all the cheering in the world no longer matters because it's not you, is it? It's success traded for success. So you can have everything you ever wanted, and none of it is what you wanted. Because what you wanted wasn't to fill a stadium. What you wanted was to have one person hear you. Right? And on top of that, be able to fulfill your base Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Because we've gotta fulfill the one success one, otherwise you die. Okay, gotta get your minimums in. But if you could have a teensy bit of success and a teensy bit of success, that would be pretty good. But instead, you sacrificed all of it for the one, and now you've got no soul. And you'll die. And if you do the opposite and you sacrifice all of it for the one, and you've got no fans, you'll die. So, what do you sacrifice? What do you seek? Which one do you aim for, actually? Which one do you aim for is really the question. Balance? Yeah, but that's a pedantic bullshit answer. It might be the right answer, but it's still pedantic bullshit. We need a hard goal. I think aiming for the internal self-actualizing, like, potent success generates the other one in more cases than the other way around, I think. I know very few people who get rich and then become happy. You know what I mean? or like sacrifice their whole life in order to become stable and then do well, it's like the wrong attitude, right? It's the wrong attitude. The classic one. There are millions and millions of people. I ride my dang stupid unicycle past them on the street, and they've got their house and their cars and everything's picture perfect, and they're really unhappy. And you know that they're really unhappy because you just have to look at the statistics. Okay. So that's success traded for success. You gotta have some of the soul part. And I think it's easier to get the money part after you've figured the soul part out. But don't sacrifice the soul part, because people spend their whole lives trying to claw that shit back, and you can't buy it. Yeah, that's the midlife crisis, I think. I think that's the midlife crisis. The male midlife crisis, where you've sacrificed your whole identity and being and expression and living and life and everything in order to get base level success on the physical material front so that you don't die. And then you realize that it's not worth it anyway. Because, like, what are you here living for? You're just not dying. You're doing a great job of not dying, but what the fuck's the point of that? No point. Shit. Oops. So then you go and you buy a Corvette and try to claw back your life. It doesn't work. It's too late, man. Maybe not. Maybe you can. Yeah, I don't think it's ever too late to really start, but man, it would have been better if you'd started earlier, right? Sacrificing one for the other. Incorrecto. Okay, let's go through the episode. The close friendship analogy thing is pretty goofy because it doesn't work, I think. Man, this is brutal. You're not allowed to do that. Cease. Also, don't ever see her again. And then she does. So, from the outset, Nanami has really been, like, since the microwave incident where she puts on the hat and does the Clark Kent secret identity to phone booth change, which is what that is, right? It's like, well, I can't be myself, so I'll be somebody else so that I can be myself. Busted as shit. But not uncommon. I don't know where that hair is. Not uncommon. Classic in abusive households. Like really authoritarian abusive households where everything is controlled. You get a totally different kid's identity when they're out at school or somewhere else. A totally different person. Why? Oh, because they can't be themselves anywhere. So they be somebody else elsewhere. And it's not even themselves. It's like this weird squished out thing that gets mangled and warped. It gets really fucky. It gets really fucky when you prevent people from being who they are. It gets really bad. Anyway, so she's been pushing back the whole time, and we see why. Because at her core, she is a flaming-hearted high school student and has only been battered by the world into her current state. The inside part has never changed. It's just smashed down and battered. Rip. Okay, this guy sucks. His voice actor does not, and I'd really like to know who he is. Mitsuaki Madono. I don't recognize his name. That's interesting. He is Kon in all of Bleach, Umezawa in Hajime no Ippo, Ogi in Code Geass. I mean, I've heard him a bunch of times. None of them seem like what I would have pegged his voice as. Issei Ryudo in Many Fates. He does a great job here as a total ding-dong. Big douchebag. This character reminds me of, like, I built the most evil character that I could even imagine. Not even evil, just like a dickhead. A total asshole. To be my D&D player's paladin's grandfather. He's a half-elf, and his grandfather is a full elf. And he's not happy about that. So, happy paladin is like, I'm here, grandfather. The grandfather's like, you're a fucking stain on our family. Please leave. I don't want you in my city. The worst. Really reminds me of this guy. Very similar. Definitely gonna steal some elements here. What a ding-dong. Also, get back here in time for the meeting. Got it? Damn. Bringing the for the popular whatever the word is thing together is pretty great. I'd love for somebody to try to actually explain to me what the fuck it really means, but I think I get it. I think I get it. connection, really. Steve Aoki basically hits me with the exact thing that I said that was like what manga editors do in yesterday's episode, which is, this isn't the worst thing I've ever read. It doesn't go in my big pile of shit. It goes in my big pile of not quite shit, but not good enough to print. So keep working. Have fun. I'll see you in a year. God, it's brutal. It's brutal, but it is what creates a lot of the eventual success stories. Is a lot of failures, which is something else we should learn and remember when we're talking about these characters getting up on stage and failing a bunch of times, and then taking that as evidence that they suck. It's not. It's actually correct. It's like the way that it should be regardless, and it's what you should expect. You gotta realign your expectations with reality effectively, right? Right. Just like with physical training, really useful quote anecdote that I've used and applied to literally everything. It was from an Olympian runner, something like that. Her explanation was that her coach explained to her, and now I explain to you, during your training, you got a rule of thirds, kind of like the filmic rule of thirds, but different. About a third of the time, you should feel pretty great about your training and feel good and like on it. About a third of the time, you should feel all right, but this is the grind, and it's like you just are doing the thing. And about a third of the time, you should feel fucking awful. And so when you feel fucking awful and you're training, you check yourself and you're like, all right, this is actually the expectation. This is what it should be. This isn't a reason to stop. This is what I signed up for. This is what hard is. This is the difficult. Okay, we'll do it anyway. And the same probably goes for any creative endeavor, right? Maybe a third of the time you're like in the passions of doing the thing, and a third of the time you're like struggling with the thing to some degree, and a third of the time it's like fucked. It's absolutely fucked, and you're not getting it, and nobody gets your art, and nobody cares, and your audience has exploded, and oh my god, you might as well just cut your ear off and call it a day, Van Gogh style. Just let it end, right? So, and then you should take a step back and go, well, we're in the third that's difficult. And it might be that the third that's difficult is the first third for creative endeavor. As opposed to with like running where it's like 1/3 spread out all the way through. Like it might actually just be the first third. You might have 0 success, 0 even moderate mediocre days. You might have the first whole third of your whole career be shit. If you can maintain the Maslow's base hierarchy level of foundational requirements while doing the shitty first third of your career part, you got it. Just keep going. Otherwise, we gotta shake things up. But still, this is interesting. It applies there, right? And it's such a difference. All the characters around Eiko say to her, in so many terms, in so many ways, for different reasons, and every time they do it, they sort of are waiting for her to bounce back from it. They say to her, you're not good enough yet. Every single time it's you're not good enough yet. Can't do it yet, right? Like, you're gonna be able to do this. It's different. Same thing's happening here. This is pretty good, but you haven't got it yet. That's pretty different. She can bounce back from that. It's not you'll never ever make it. Gotta find out the real reason. What you really, really, really want to sing for. Anyway, I've got no idea what to do. So, Nanami comes right off of this conversation with her manager, which has her absolutely distraught, right? Doesn't know exactly what to do, and then the truth comes straight through her, but we get this moment of... Where is it? Is it after she runs up and we see her face? Yeah. Listen, you're singing with your own voice now. And then her eyes narrow the way that I can't, right? You've got it. Trust me. You can do it. And let's go somewhere and unwind, and that leads us in. But that little moment of her eyes narrowing does everything for me. That does everything for me, right? She still has the fire. If only I could protect that from this thing that is going on with me, maybe she could succeed. Wow. Glorious. I really like the whole rap sequence. They're very cute. It's pretty cute. Um, Hanging out and rhyming a little bit is really fun. I really like the nature of their speech. Kabe Taijin, of course, is also Shine Nozen from previous show 86, but I don't know who the others are. I'm not gonna go look them up. But all of them have rapped. Like, actually, they all have it in their general vocalization and like timing. It's interesting. It's really cute. And we get it right here. I love this. Success or success? Which one have we chosen? This guy has got a reasonable set of expectations toward reality. That's what it is. Because he could be doing exactly what he's doing and be miserable because he wouldn't be succeeding. You see? You see? He doesn't care if he's succeeding. Big stage, shining lights, chains, girls, doesn't care. Doesn't matter. Okay? Right? Success to him is, I've got my job at the convenience store or wherever it is that he works, I can pay for my rent, and I eat well, and everything's good. And then, what is success? Success is, I get to do what I want. I can express myself however I want, whenever I want, with the people that I want, in whatever platform I want, in the way that I want, all the time. And I'd like to, and I'm doing it. And if I had the expectation that doing so would net me a bunch of success, then I wouldn't succeed. But because this is the success, this is my expectation from it, is that I get little and gain everything. Well, I gain everything and I'm succeeding really, really wonderfully. And so, when he takes criticism or flack or you know, is the guy who plays a show and nobody shows up, he goes, yeah, man, that's me. All right? Ripperoni. So it is. Hey, you know who I am? I'm the dude who streamed on Twitch for a week and nobody showed up. Still me. Still grooving. Still dancing. Still entertaining myself, right? Still having a good time with it. Very different from the person who's sitting there going, why don't I have any viewers? I was told that this would be success. I'm so good. I deserve attention. Give me compliments. Success. Where is it? Why hasn't it happened? Well, your expectations haven't matched with reality at all, right? Yeah. 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 So as long as your expectations match with reality, you act toward reality, it responds in a manner that's within your realm of like, expected outcomes. That's pretty successful. That's pretty good. Hey. And Kabe learns it here, and Koumei learns it here, or hears it too. Aw, it's so good. Oh, so high! So high! What are you singing for? And we start to get real, like... It's pretty tongue-in-cheeky. So there's something that happens over this portion of the episode that I have to mention, or I'd like to mention it and bring it to the forefront, which is that the whole thing is hyper-aware of where it sits in the landscape or the zeitgeist of other shows and stuff. The whole K-On! Sequence is actively not parody. It's not parody because it's wholehearted, right? It's as strong as it can be to lean on the trope landscape that exists, but it's really leaning on the trope landscape. The look off into the wind and then the head reveal to the thing and the thing blows by. I actually thought we were going to do with what we were going to do with this scene was turn it into a full comedy scene. Because there's a way to play this that I think would be really, really really funny, and I'll just pitch it to you right now. Over the course of the next 45 seconds of conversation, and before we get serious in any way, we offset the episode with a humor bit at the end with Koumei jumping up and being funny in the suit, right? But we could offset by doing the humor here instead. It would work great. During this whole sequence that we walk around and stuff, keep asking her, like, so what do what kind of music do you have to play in? Are you like a pro or something? And the whole time we're standing in front of Azalea posters, and the blimp is going by, and they're like Azalea things raining from the sky, and people running around in like Azalea cosplay and shit, and like they roll a giant banner down one of the nearby skyscrapers, and it's all Azalea stuff everywhere, and Aiko's just like, so what kind of music do you play? I think that'd be very funny. Instead, we lean really hard on the tropes and we start to get dark and mysterious about it. And I think it works. I think it works really, really well. Really well. Okay, I'll also say that throughout my discussion commentary of this, I made fun of it all the way through because it's so on the nose tropey. And you can just like line by line predict what's going to happen, I think. And that's very fun to me. I really enjoy it. Sorry if it pissed anybody off. Are you a pro? Are you a studio musician? Maybe on a tour? Right? See, this could just be dragged out for a little while to become really dumb. You can become really dumb. And then she can finally do the reveal and be like, and be a little bit funnier, right? Okay, wow, look at that. I better tell you after all. This might be the last time that we meet. Huh, Nani? I like that we do the big, overwhelming CG blimp sequence for this, and then she undercuts it with her own deadpan delivery of the thing. Ja, because she's so utterly unexcited to have to share this. She hates it, wishes it was not so, would change it if she could, has deluded herself into thinking that she can't, should change it. Maybe we can save her. That's a Koumei thing to do. Can we save the guy, though? Can we save Kurosawa, though? Ooh. But I just wanted to be myself around you. I am Azalea. Ta-da! Dead in the eyes. Just absolute smash bang dead in the eyes. What? And that hits our mid-roll, which in this case is super early. Okay. I really don't like Eiko's response here. I don't like Eiko's response here. I think if you've got a few more brain cells to rub together, you can pretty easily come up with a more tactful way to figure this one out. The reveal drops like, oh, interesting. Oh, that's so cool. You're in a successful band. How do you feel about that? Like, anything other than immediately hitting it with an unintentionally, it might be unintentional, but a still really judgmental phrase might be good here. But instead, Nantene, but you're not like that at all. Oh, right. Yeah, no, you also reject that identity as well. As expected, Jajan, everything fits exactly as I thought it would. This makes sense. Damn. Like, imagine your female friend tells you that she's got an OnlyFans. And you go, but you're not like those girls at all. What does that say? What does that imply? You know, even if you mean it, even if you're right, what does it say and imply? It's like, oh, you've shattered my beliefs about you negatively in a worse way than they were before. Wrong. But you're in Azalea. Gotta be kidding, you're nothing like those girls. But that, we just breeze over it, and it doesn't end up becoming a problem, and then we get our backstory, and it's so fucking, oh my god. The color change. Everything's in, like, seishuni sunset-y hues. God, we're in fucking high school anime land. They've got the freaking Seirafukus with a unique design. This is Keion. It's actually Keion. It's just Keion. It's literally Keion. This is Keion. She's Mio, and this is Keion. Except more oomphy, right? Let's come up with a name. This scene, that's Keion. That frame, that's the place. It's the place. Ban sucks. Mix-up is bad. Azalea's cute. And what does it mean? Well, it means the most picture-perfect thing in the entire world in flower language. It means seishun, the joy of youth. Whoa. Absolutely brutal. This shot is really cute. In fact, the whole thing where she reaches out, no, it's not a shot. Okay, it just had tricked me. A lot of these moments are really cute. We did what we wanted to. The little moment, yeah, where she, like, slams on the ba-dow, right? And falls down and plays. It's just chaos. The whole thing, the live concert, the school festival, and then onward into the future, a nighttime declaration of intent to keep playing music and move to Tokyo together to do the thing, and we're all gonna make it. We're going to the Budokan or bust, Budokan or bust. Shit. And this pullout shot is right on. It's from, it's right on in God Knows, and it's right on in one of the K-On! Performances as well. It's kind of amazing. It's like, it's kind of awesome. So again, it's in good taste, it's in good humor, but this is like parody. It's very weird to me because this is wibbling my brain. This actually took me from this place to another place, which is the intent and part of the power of tropes, and we should mention that. The use of tropes here just sucks us right there, and we're capable of doing so much of this episode in shorthand. We've got a lot of the emotional buildup from the previous 2 episodes, but so many shorthand touches make this all come together and make it a rich tapestry of emotional destruction that's just like, nice. It's nice. This is what I signed up for. And they get the first taste of the success thing. Oh, psycho! Let's do it. Let's do it. And this is also really cute, okay? These scenes are, again, even though they're sort of parodic, they do it wholeheartedly. Fully invested into it, like to the extent that they're capable of leveraging the animation budget that they have, they do so, and they don't just make it a joke. It's like, it's real here, and they make it as heartfelt as they can, and so it actually lands, really. Even if you're in and you're like, this is just a reference to another show, this is just shorthand. They put enough in there to make it pretty juicy, and so it ends up pretty juicy. Yay, starting just for us. But of course, everything until he showed up. So we set up with him first, which is pretty interesting. We don't even have to show them like trying first. He's their first introduction, and that's pretty great. And they all hit with like the most fire that they put. Oh my god, we're so lovely, we love it. And they're all discussing amongst themselves. I liked this moment too. One of them goes like, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, after all, we've been doing this. Yeah, and it's this, right? They're all on the same page. They're all in agreement. They're all passionate about this. It's right. It's right. And he's wrong, actually. What hogwash? You guys don't know anything. That's when you walk. That's when you walk. Obviously, we are not meant to do business together. Bye. Because your goal when you're finding a manager is to find somebody who takes your soul voice thing and brings it to the audience. You know, like Koumei. So he just smashes it. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. And don't speak to me while I'm speaking. What I'm giving you is your only shot. You've got no choice. And I'll make the big dollar signs for you. I'll give you success. See? All you have to do is give up success. See? Don't worry. You can give it up because you'll have success, and it's success, right? Wrong. It's a lie. It's a lie in the word. In the use of the same word for the same thing. For the 2 different things, I mean. Don't worry about giving up your success. It won't matter because you'll have success to replace it. Wrong. Because you can't get the one back with the other. What are you talking about? We're going to go do this ourselves. Fuck you. All right? You need to be polished. And he hits us with, I also once thought the same way that you did, which just tells us the whole thing. Amazing. Yeah, but he has been successful. Yeah, but we won't do it. Fuck yeah. But it doesn't work. Empty stages. And we do it all in fast montage. Real smooth. Real smooth fast montage through here. Everything's bad. No options. Booking fees, banking, losing everything, losing your apartments. And I gotta stress this scene. This is like, ooh. How many people work themselves to a thin thread of tendon holding them together in order to maintain the opulent lifestyle of an 8x8 cube with a bed on one side? You work yourself to the bone for that. You ever slept on a rock out in the woods? Might want to try it. It's free. Like, actually, what the fuck? That's crazy. It's crazy. Expectations and reality. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do to live somewhere, but if you're paying 3 salaries for an 8x8 box, it's wrong. That's it. That's it. And everybody falls away. And so she takes a plunge and bites down on her pride. Grits and bears it, truly. And truly, when he turns around and once we've got the last frame, we get that grimace from her, right? I'll cede to this just 'cause I have to. Never ever do that. Don't do it, please. This is a heartfelt request from me to you. If you find yourself in a circumstance where you are sacrificing your, like, ability to to stand up straight for something that somebody else has told you is worthwhile, or that you've decided is worthwhile, chill. Chill out. It's probably not worth jumping into. And of course, we set this up. So this is our worm in for Koumei to actually fix this guy or change him or something, which would be great. I'd love that to be the story that we tell because it's the classic, right? This is our worm in. He had his dream too. His whole now that's better thing is so, like, bad Dom, you know? Ugh. However, one's compensation is tied to pleasing others. And this was the first thing that made me reach for a paper and, like, go, oh boy, I gotta talk about that. Is this true? Yes. Is it true? No. Wait, what? Oh, is this true? Yeah. How are you gonna get money from other people? How are you gonna get them to give it to you? By making them happy? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Your compensation is tied to pleasing others. What pleases others? What they want? No. No. What you want, actually. Yeah! Welcome to the paradox. This is some weird shit. This is some weird shit, but it's actually, I think it's really deep true. Just in the same line as, there's no market for the honest sharing of human spirit. Incorrect. There's a huge market for it. How do you please people? By trying to arrange the best, most pleasing thing for them? Yes, but no. Because then it ends up being tailor-made fake. I think this is right enough to get success, and it's not right enough to get success. And I think as a fundamental attitude, this is maybe the most efficient path to getting the material monetary success is to just buckle down and do the things that other people want you to do. I think it's not wrong. And that's an unfortunate truth that I have to grapple with, unfortunately. And it is the darkness, and it is the reason that someone who had a spirit at one point would actually wholeheartedly believe this, is because it is not wrong. It's true. But what do you give up? The ability to please yourself? The ability to be pleasant? Yeah. The ability to live a life worth living? Yeah. There's a lot here, though. One's compensation. On what front? Specifically financial? Or generally in the world? Because there are a few forms of compensation. Here's an example. Every time I interact with the people around me, I think I am compensated by their pleasantness to me and general cordiality to me and overall experience that is pleasant. I think I'm compensated there, and I think that compensation is not necessarily tied to pleasing them. Maybe it is, though. It's tied to pleasing others. Do what others want in order to get the money that you need. That's the attitude, isn't it? Not do what you need to do in order to get the money that you want. I had failed to understand that basic like, it's true. It's true. But I think you can only go so far with it before it takes the It takes the feet out from under you. It really does, man. Oh, I don't know. Your compensation is built around pleasing others. It doesn't. The thing works, but it doesn't work. Okay, it works, but it doesn't work. It comes back to, what does work mean? What does pleased mean? What does success mean? It works, but it doesn't work for the human on the inside, right? It works for everybody else. It works for the industry that requires... it works for the industry that requires people to sell themselves. That's true. It works for all the people in the suits around him who are getting paid around it. And all the people who are going to rely on Nanami and Azalea and all that. It works for all of them, which is important to remember. But it doesn't work for the human at the center. It consumes them. That's it. So, if you live a life that is built around pleasing others, you will share of yourself continuously until you wither up and become a husk. Yeah. You'll be compensated accordingly. In a way that doesn't compensate you at all. Because the one is not the other. Because the success that you traded your success for is not fucking success. Bingo. Okay. I think... Hit me in the comments if none of that makes sense to you. It might not make any sense. I'm a blathery idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm making this shit up as I go along. I'm not, like, applying a psychology textbook to this. I am the psychology textbook, and I'm trying to write myself. Yeah. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Please and thank you. And then grits the teeth and straight into the outfit. And this isn't even as far as they go. It gets worse. We're not actually going to wear these. No, they are sure to be a hit. And we've got the whole focus group and all the artistes and stuff around that dude with the fucking scarf. All these scumbags. But they're also going to profit off of you. Follow all of my instructions. Maji. Yeah, for real. We will be reborn. And they're the faceless. I really like this. As they're given the masks, these, like, nameless, faceless drones in suits who all look the same and are totally replaceable come up to them and are like, sir, ma'am. It's like, wow, that's what I'm about to become, isn't it? At what point do you take the Azalea outfit? Because her whole thing was like, oh, if I leave, Azalea falls apart. Wah, sad. Sad for all these people who are profiting off of my artistic consumption and destroying me and ripping my soul out and selling it in little pieces to the masses like I'm a strip mine in the middle of Nevada for lithium. Invest in lithium. It's a good idea. Seriously, though. I'm gonna be that. You can replace them. Her whole idea was that they all rely on me, so if I were to walk or say anything, then it would all fall apart. And I think that's a mistake. You actually don't even matter. That's what's so great about it, is they've extracted all of the you from the outfit, from the thing, right? Mask, not using the actual thing, using only recordings, the outfits and stuff, renaming your identity, all those things. They've extracted you from it. You're not necessary anymore. They can swap you out with some other girl and then steal her soul until she's dead, and then swap it out with some other girl and then steal her soul until she's dead, right? So you just gotta walk and let the industry keep doing the industry thing. Just make sure it has nothing to do with you and try to get your friends out if you can. Now, if all three of you walk, they might have more of a problem. And that's worth it. Betray them all. Yes, this will make you popular. And with fucking not smiles on their faces, they say the second best line of the episode. What we wear won't change who we are. And this is something that I hadn't talked about, and I hadn't put it into words, and I hadn't had it as an idea at all. It's an angle toward the whole conversation about self-expression in fashion and wearing and representation and identity that I just didn't think about at all. But it is really important, and it works in a bunch of ways. It's not just in how you feel about yourself and what you're wearing, it's in how everybody else responds to you. Because remember what our definition of success was. Our definition is you act in the way that in a way to the world, and you have an expectation about what will happen, and that expectation occurs. Okay, if I wear a weird top hat and a steampunk goggles and a big leather jacket, and I go outside a supermarket and I greet old ladies. Hello, ma'am. May I take your groceries to your car for you? They're gonna freak the fuck out at me. I'm not going to get the response in response that I would expect based on solely on my behavior. So, what you wear does change who you are, because a person who did that might come out of the world thinking, it's a miserable world. I just went out there trying to be nice to everybody, and they all treat me like I'm a weirdo. Like I'm some kind of weirdo. Steampunk goggles, shaking around, big top hat, feathers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a weirdo. You're a weirdo. What you wear does change who you are. And then it changes how people relate to you. And the way that people relate to you functionally makes you. That's how you are socialized. It's how you know who you are, is by relating to other people. And then seeing how they relate back to you. And feeling the waves of energy, not metaphysically in any way, just the subconscious understanding of where you are in the circumstance of your social reality. Like, who am I? Do girls check me out when I walk by? Or do they go, when I walk by? That changes who you are. And how you see yourself. It completely. It reflects back on you. And then you reflect back on the world. And then it reflects back on you. So, what if you wear really revealing sexy outfits everywhere? You've got every right to do it. Good for you. Yippee-ki-yay. It makes you feel really good and confident and comfortable in yourself to wear really revealing sexy outfits everywhere. Until the dudes start catcalling you. Or the nice ladies start going, ew, gross. And then suddenly the world's a little bit different and you're different. And it will change who you are to get treated like that. And I think in a lot of cases, it takes you in the direction of like, well, fuck you, I'm just gonna do what I want. But it also might take you in the direction of, oh, fuck me, I'd better not ever wear anything interesting ever. What an interesting wrinkle that I didn't think about at all. How you express yourself changes the way other people treat you. So it's hard enough to just express yourself. How are you even going to do that? But then, how you do so will change who you are on the core heart part on the inside, because it'll reflect back to you and alter you. Fuck. That makes it harder. Let's just suck it up and wear it. Fine. And they do. And it works. Of course. The fans are there, and it's working. And now we just pretend to sing. And we take it all away. And we dance it out. And we learn the choreo. And more choreo. And it becomes all this. And this is what we snap to. And it's the most egregious awfulness. It's so amazing. I think this is so good. It's also sexy. But in the worst way. Right? In the worst way. And it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Absolutely glorious. But why do I say this? Well, our whole show has been about attractive girls, and we've been really careful about not sexualizing them mostly. Even when we really were or could have. Like, we just had this character and another character nude in a bath for a while, like hanging out, bathing. Didn't feel sexual, really. And now, on stage, in an outfit, fully clothed, the camera is right there, and you have been extracted from the human. Like, the human has been extracted from the scene. Because that's the scene. Pip, pop, choreo, choreo, bounce, bounce. And it's gross. And she stands there with her ass out. And it's exactly that. And we're able to make a living on music alone. Success. But I'm not even me on this stage. And nobody's looking at me. And I'm not even singing. We're able to make a living on music alone. But we're not even making music. Whoops. I also really like this. We're in the middle of this scene, we cut it off for drama. That's great. Oh my god, we got paid so much. So excited, so excited. And she's about to say it. And they both look, and it's like terror on their faces, like caught in the headlights, like she's gonna mention the truth. She can't do it. You know what? Everything is okay, right? Yeah, everything's okay, right? Right? Guys, everything's okay? This is right, right? This is totally normal. We're being abused and turned into people that we don't want to be and forced to not be a thing. And we can't speak honestly to each other anymore. And all the passion and fervor and like joy toward this thing that where we were like excited together is just like gone. And everything that we say is kind of like masking a real undertone of real like complacency that we're all sort of semi-agreeing to. We're all just sort of agreeing to it to agree that we're not going to comment on this at all and just keep going because otherwise life is going to get complicated for us all. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go. Bye. I'm going to go sing outside because my soul is crushed and I need to squeeze it out the outside. Otherwise, I'm going to explode. Bada boom. And we nail it. The change in clothing had in fact changed me. But I no longer want to sing Kurosawa's songs, and I think there's hope here, but it's no longer about just us. There's all this more that's more important. And that's really thin bullshit, because it's bullshit, right? It not true. Doesn't matter. You're more important than that. You deserve your own reality, Nanami. Fuck that shit. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to Kurosawa. So she reveals that we're in the competition, and so we might kind of be rivals. Okay? And then she realizes that all through all of this, it was Nanami helping her. And so she finds within her the same flip side to hurt people hurting people is helped people help people or something. Right? I don't know. It's catchy. It's catchy enough. All these people have been helping me. That makes me want to, like, help people and stuff. Yeah, man. Like, yeah. Right. Right. So the fact that Koumei and all these people have been really good to you makes you want to help them. And the fact that Nanami's been really good to you makes you want to help her. And so she does reach her, please, please reach her heart, which is actually literally a line from Symphogear, and that's not a spoiler. I'm so happy. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun and good. What's the reason to express yourself? To inspire other people to express themselves because it's really fun. That's a good one. That's a really good one. To resonate and cause resonance. It's the way that basic physics works, and so that's probably a good paradigmatic like framework for how to see yourself. How do I phrase that again? It's not obviously wrong or stupid. When you sing out and create vibrations in the world, it like seems to cause other people to do that too. When one molecule or atom starts vibrating, it seems to cause that to happen to the ones around it. Weird. I'm not saying something like profound here. I'm not trying to say everything is all connected. It is. But I'm not trying to make some stupid claim about, well, that physics is this physics. But I've found that when you take actions that seem to align with, I don't know, basic laws of the universe, like equivalent exchange, they work out pretty well. And in this case, this action that Eiko is about to take, where she sings out with the express purpose of reaching out to the struggling hearts of all the people around her and hoping to show them that singing can be really cool and maybe they could express themselves too, that is very much like starting a ripple in a pond and then that actually proliferates and creates more ripples in weird ways. Or like vibrations creating like energy, spreading more energy into a system, and like the stuff that is the basic way that our universe works. And I've found that when I act in line with the basic laws of the universe, things go well for me. More than when I don't. So, sing on, Eiko. And she does. Music saved me, so maybe my music can save someone else. Helped people help people? Try helping people. Also, helping people helps people, so try helping people even if you haven't been helped, because that'll help you. Sorry. I love words. I love words. That's why I talk too much. Maybe I can even save Nanami. And she sings, and it's good. I mean, it's good. She's got more voice in there for real. For real. Reach it. Reach her. Reach her heart. Now I see. So this is the populist. No. But the previous thing that you were talking about where you were like, well, maybe everybody has all their struggles and stuff. I think that was. But maybe not. I don't know. Just singing for someone else's sake. And in doing so, she breaks through everything, but it's not enough. I think that the Swayton bitch on throwing the phone is really good and intentional. I think it's active and intentional. Like, we're up on this rooftop so that we have the tension of thinking that she's going to throw the phone off the rooftop. It's really intentionally there, and you're supposed to fold it in, I think. And man, it's rough that she won't and can't. It's really great. Just a full, beautiful breakdown, and then you're snapped back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. Choke, he's so bad, but he won't give up that easy. Nope, he won't have it. He won't go back to that. I forget the lyrics from that point on. Oh, gosh. Let's both do our best, and she hits her with the please, let's sing together. And then Koumei hits us with the goofy. Very good. God, this was a nail biter of an episode. It was like 3 roller coasters with a perfect beat ender, all wrapped up in me stupidly making an early discussion that actually ended up being entirely relevant, with a really, really good, simple, basic, obvious, straightforward, deeply heartfelt and effective story. I'm in. Let's go. Good shit. This kicks back into gear, I think. I do think the last couple episodes were, relative to this one and relative to the first couple, weak, comparatively. I expect that this will bring us into some more strength. Tension has a tendency to do that in a show, and our tension mostly has been, will Eiko be more successful than she was last week? And the answer is, yeah, of course. But now we've got a fucking tension, and that's really cool, and that's going to actually turn into some real value here. I hope this has been a really good discussion for you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Kongming and also my talking a lot. And if you did, go ahead and give it a like. That would be very helpful. Subscribe to the channel might be good. And the Patreon is in the description if you want next week's episode a little bit early. Go find your real voice, your own voice, and then actually use it, please. In the comments would be good. No, I kid. But in reality, however you express yourself. I do dumb YouTube videos. This is actually me, like just like Sasachi said, and it doesn't have to get you success. If it gets you success, you feel me? And don't go thinking that you can trade this one for that one. Be careful, because people don't always mean what they say. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more Kongming. Peace.